Hello everyone, it's Richard Lewis here again with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about a topic that's of relevant interest, I would say, if you're a CSGO fan. I'm going to be talking about the Jampi lawsuit against Valve, and if you don't know who Jampi is, he's a very good young Finnish player that currently plays for ENCE, who, because he was connected to an account that has a VAC ban on it, isn't allowed to compete at the CSGO majors. So let's just get into it. Basically, he wanted to sue Valve in order to have that ban overturned. He wants to compete at majors. ENCE want him to compete at majors. And what they did was they looked at it through the lens of it being a sort of consumer rights issue in Finland. And as a result of that, the lawsuit that they issued was to a subsidiary of Valve, Valve GmbH in Germany, and not Valve Corporation in America. And this is to do with European and Finnish consumer law. That was the way they were angling it. What they were looking for was damages and for the ban to be overturned. They argued that he'd had the chance to join OG, but they didn't pick him up because they have aspirations of playing at a major. So that was kind of the lay of the land. Now, I just want to point out one thing before we get into it. I'm going to be a smug asshole, but that's why you love me. I'm your smug asshole. So, in the last video I did about this topic, I said it looked like he'd essentially sued the wrong Valve. And then that was because Valve said, look, we don't really have any... Valve GmbH has no connection to these types of decisions. This looks like a territorial loophole you're going for. Ultimately, we don't think they're the right people for this lawsuit. And of course, Jampi's lawyers disagreed. When that disagreement was reported upon, it went to Reddit, and there was all the smart fucking Redditors in there saying Richard Lewis is wrong again. God, he's really standards. He's degenerated into clickbait. He doesn't read anything anymore. He just goes for the sensationalist headline. Yeah, he's trying to be like one of those news YouTubers, right? That's what they said. It was all there. I saw your comments, morons. Well, it turns out that actually now the court has ruled that, yeah, Valve GmbH was indeed the wrong Valve, and they're not going to be able to resolve the lawsuit in that capacity. So, yeah, wrong Valve. Good. Glad we got there. Right. So, let's, here it is in Finnish. This has been translated. I'll tell you what's going on, because there is some good news for Jampi in all of this. It's definitely not the decision he wanted. It's not the ruling he wanted. But I'll just take you through that. Basically, the District Court of Eastern Uusimaa has issued a decision on the counterstrike player Jampi in their dispute concerning his major ban. The Court of Eastern Uusimaa says they have no jurisdiction in the matter, which means that any action will be inadmissible. And the reason for this is that they have said that Valve GmbH isn't the right company to be suing. It was actually founded in 2016, which was 1 year after the event. The agreement that Jampi entered into in 2015 was between him and Valve Corporation, and therefore the district court rules the applicant hasn't shown that there is any alleged contractual relationship between him and Valve GmbH. So this decision isn't final. Jampi's lawyer can basically appeal this decision, but this is kind of where I think a lot of people felt it was going to go. I mean, this is a sort of structural flaw with the lawsuit in itself. He didn't enter into any form of contractual agreement with the German subsidiary of Valve. They don't make these decisions. It's come from sort of the esports office. That's an American based institution. So he was always on shaky ground. They really needed this territory to be acknowledged if they were going to essentially apply Finnish consumer law, and now the court says that isn't going to be possible. Now, the appeal probably will go ahead, honestly, even though I think it's a bit flimsy. The reason for that is that he will have to pay the costs. So that, and this is where it gets worse, not only has it been dictated essentially a waste of time, he's going to have to pay 44,650 euros and €33,854 for his own lawyer's costs. He's going to get saddled with all of that bill. So it's been a massive, costly endeavor for the court to essentially turn around and say, guys, this is silly. This is a waste of time. There's no contractual relationship. You're not going to be able to get this overturned. Now, really, I think the appeal, it's not going to be favorable. Not a lawyer, but obviously it looks like this is where it was headed. It's where I thought it was headed. It's what I said in the last video. It's what's transpired. If they appeal, it's only going to cost Jampi more money. He might be better advised to hold on to it. But when I said there was good news, there was, actually. And these details was added after the fact to that report I showed you there. It says here that in the district court's decision, both sides, Valve and Jampi's legal counsel, agree that he had bought, sold, and got rid of the VAC band account in question to a third party the same day it was created. And based on that decision, it wouldn't have been possible for Jampi to have cheated on the account. So now it's a matter of fact, it is a matter of legal record that we know he did exactly what he said. That he bought the account for a friend, gave it to a friend, it was the friend that cheated. That is now established. No more doubts, no more aspersions, no more, oh yeah, my brother did it, haha, dog ate my homework, none of that. It's now Valve, who are usually very opaque when it comes to this stuff, very secretive, like, oh no, we mustn't tell you what's going on. It's now a matter of legal record that, yeah, he didn't cheat on the account. It was whoever he bought the account for. Now, with that in mind, it does make you wonder, why will Valve not unban him? If they know that, and they've known it all along, why the fuck is Jampi banned from competing at majors? The whole point of banning somebody for having a VAC ban infraction on their account is that you don't want to encourage cheating. You have a zero tolerance policy towards cheaters. You don't want them in the upper echelons of competition. Fine. I'll agree with that. I think lifetime bans for anything is really, really egregious, except in the worst cases. But you have now admitted in a legal document, Valve, that he didn't cheat, that you know he didn't cheat. Why is he banned? Why is he banned? That is outrageous, and hopefully what this does now is maybe it opens the door for some iteration of Valve, some staff member at Valve, to at least apply some common sense. If that was to happen, suddenly the €77,000 that he's going to be out of pocket for the whole thing might not be that bad. But it seems to me that what Valve are saying, and this is, I understand their policy, but it's for something else. They say your account, your responsibility. They maintain that for as long as I've had a Steam account. It's your account, your responsibility. Anything that happens on that account, it's on you. But this is an exceptional circumstance. We're talking about an exceptional CS talent. We're talking about esports, which most people don't even know what the fuck esports is still, let alone compete in it on some level. So why not just do the decent thing? Yeah, he's not going to get his damages. Yeah, that was never likely. But now that you've admitted, yeah, we know he didn't cheat, can you fucking overturn the ban? The kid definitely deserves a second chance on that basis. Now, probably that won't happen, because if I've learned one thing in my many years reporting about this stuff, games developers will never admit they were wrong, even when they're wrong. They will never bring punishments back, not unless there's some sort of huge public outcry that affects their bottom line. And Valve are one of the wealthiest companies in America per employee, so they don't really give a fuck about that. The upshot is that while Jampi has cleared his name and lost a lot of money to do so, it might not actually change his status as a banned player from the majors, which is ridiculous. It's absurd. But it also just underlines how tenuous these things are that Valve apply. So I'm hoping in a year, 2 years, maybe when we get back to the major cycle, I have to believe one day Valve are going to care more about esports than they currently do, that they're going to find new employees that want to make new rules, have appeals processes, things like that for esports competitors, and maybe on that day we see Jampi's ban overturned because, guys, he did nothing wrong. So there you go. That's the update on the Jampi lawsuit. Wrong Valve. Never a cheater. That might be worse in some ways, but there it is. So if you want to keep up with this story, I'll let you know how the appeal goes. You just stick a follow and comment and all that nonsense down there. You can look me up on all of this other stuff. By the way, the Instagram, I never use it. Too much of a boomer. Might start, whatever, but give it a follow if you want. And thanks a lot for watching the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Till then, take care.